long as old man Clanton confined his rustling and outlawry to his empire in southeast Arizona, he had only Wyatt Earp and the Tombstone Vigilantes to oppose him. But when the Clanton gang started raiding Mexico for cattle and silver, it became an international matter for Washington to deal with. And Washington promptly passed the buck to Arizona's Governor Gosper, who in turn passed it on to Wyatt Earp.
Let me remind you, Governor, that Clanton controls 800 square miles of Arizona territory, from Charleston to Tucson, Clanton towns. Every water hole is guarded by Clanton outlaws. It's the same through the Oracles, across the San Pedro, back to the Pinnacles. We hold Tombstone, and that's all.
I don't care how big an empire that outlaw controls. We can't have trouble with Mexico on account of him. I'm empowered to indemnify Don Sebastian for his losses. You tell him that. It's your job to stop Clanton from attacking Mexican herds and silver trains.
I'd need a posse of 500 men, sir.
We wouldn't be in this mess if you'd listen to me. Talk less and shoot more. You're too easy with those Clanton hoodlums.
Maybe. I'll talk with Clanton. I think he's underestimating Sebastian. When he discovers there might be reprisals, it could change him.
All right, see what you can do.
Yes, sir.
And, Marshal, you better warn Clanton. Don Sebastian has been buying rifles and handguns.
I'll tell him. The old man should be impressed. Good day, sir.
Good luck.
Now, I'll show you how you do this.
All right, big brother, you go right ahead.
Come on, Ike.
Ben,
Watch
don't
this.
Fit it off. That's pretty good, Ben. Now
Okay,
let me
come on.
outdo you.
Well, you're both pretty lucky.
All right. Finn, Billy, come in here. I got a job for you.
Big brother, get yours out of the dirt there.
Now, you cross the border here. You ride southwest about 10 miles, San Felipe Canyon. I got a tip there's about 1,000 head of Don Sebastian's fat beef grazing there, and these I want them. Now, don't take more than 7 or 8 hands with you.
Well, they won't ride with just us, Papa.
Not across the border, they won't.
Why not? You, Finn, speak up. I asked you why. Well?
They just won't ride with us, Papa, that's all.
They want Brocious or Ringo or the McLowrys along.
Oh, so that's it. A fine parcel of sons I raised. My own hands don't trust them.
Well, that ain't it, Papa. It's Brocious and Ringo. They've been pies them all against us.
We have. Well, now, I'll tell you what we'll do. You don't need them. You're Clantons, by Joe. And you're gonna start being Clantons right this minute. Get out there and get your horses ready.
Yes, sir, Papa.
All right, Papa.
All right. You do the leading. I want Finn to follow Ike, and Billy, you ride rear guard.
We'll make out, Papa.
You better make out. You start proving yourselves men.
Papa, we'll take care of it. Ike, mount up.
All right, Papa.
Ike, hurry up.
All right, all right.
Ike, the canteen. Come on.
Finn, Billy, you know, I think one of us ought to stand guard.
Oh, there ain't a Mexican in 20 miles.
You scared, Ike?
Sure he's scared. Papa only made you leader because you're the oldest. But you won't stay the leader when the old man cashes in.
I guess you think you will? You ought to be ashamed of yourself talking that way.
Why? You can't live forever.
Someone ought to pistol whip you.
You want to try it?
Well, I just might, right?
All right, now, come on in. This ain't no time to fight. What's the matter? All right, you stop it. Now, this ain't no time to be fighting. What's the matter with you two? Run around this way. Now, wait a minute. No, listen to me, fellas. Listen, Papa, I say, we pay you good. Now, you just let us go. You hear me? I'll Papa pay you. Papa, tell ya.
Wyatt Earp's here.
Wants to talk to you.
Tell him to go away. I know you want to be talking to a lawman, least all him.
I have a message from Governor Gosper.
Gosper? Blue-bellied, carpet-bagging Yankee.
It's about Don Sebastian.
Spence, get out. Make it short.
You stop raiding his cattle and silver trains, or Sebastian will start attacking you. He's backed up by the Mexican government. That short enough?
You think I don't know that Fancy Dan's been buying guns? Just let him cross the border and see what he gets.
Why do you keep on with this? You're rich in land and silver. What do you want with his?
What are you driving at, Earp?
What are you driving at? One of these days, you'll be dead.
I got children.
Your daughter, Emma, refuses to come home from school in New Orleans. As for Ike Finn and...
Shut up! Don't you come in here running down my own flesh and blood.
Look, Mr. Clanton, you're no fool. Why don't you quit raiding across the border?
That's my business.
You want to make your fortune bigger for Brocious and Ringo to take over? That's what they're planning. Everybody knows it.
They won't get a penny, not a penny. I made it for us Clantons.
Well, Emma will be the only one left alive to make use of it.
Emma, she won't get nothing, not unless she promises, if she marries, to change her married name back to Clanton.
Oh, so you're Emperor Clanton, huh?
You dang tootin'.
Well, that's too bad.
What's too bad?
I'll have to go to Don Sebastian and tell him that you refuse to quit stealing his silver and cattle.
He won't fight.
Oh, he'll fight. And when all the Clantons are gone, Brocious and Ringo can start counting you money.
Marshal Earp, my vaquero tells me you have a message for me from Governor Gosper of Arizona.
Yes, Don Sebastian. It concerns the raids by Mr. Clanton. Our governor would like to know how much was stolen from you. Our government will pay it back.
I see. Por favor.
Thank you.
Tell me, has this Senor Clanton agreed not to steal from me anymore?
No, sir.
Then why have you come? It takes both sides to make a peace. Both sides must stop trouble. Let me show you. I believe your Governor Gosper has made a mistake, unless he can control Senor Clanton.
He's doing everything he can to keep peace along the border.
Earp!
Where did you take them?
San Felipe Canyon, 10 miles our side of the border.
He just wants ransom money.
No man could pay me enough to make me let you go.
Mr. Earp, tell him that Pop will pay.
Shut up, Ben. We ain't asking Earp for no favors.
It is hard to believe. I can't understand how a rich man like Senor Clanton could have sons like these. Are you certain they are his sons?
They've been in my jail in Tombstone many times.
Take them away.
Mr. Don Sebastian, you're gonna be sorry you took us Clantons. The old man's gonna kill 50 of your men for this.
You will thank the governor for me, senor. And you will also tell him I will take back that which was stolen from me.
What do you intend to do with his boys?
I have not yet decided.
If anything happens to him, Clanton will go wild. Attack you with every man he has, and he can get many more. Hold them as hostages. Perhaps then I can get Clanton to sign an agreement to leave your property alone.
And how long do you suppose he would keep his word? Until his sons are released, perhaps?
He has never lied to me, Don Sebastian.
I will think on it.
Since he may not believe you hold his sons, I'd like to show him letters in their own handwriting.
That is good. Pablo, I think you are a man of good intentions, senor. Pablo, Take the senor to the prisoners. They will be permitted to write letters to their father. Adios, senor.
Adios.
My boy's hen scratching all right. Blame fools, letting themselves get caught by Sebastian. All right, so I'll let them stay there.
They're your boys.
Never was no good at it. Broke their mama's heart. But I'll get them back if it means taking a small army across that border and blasting Sebastian to Kingdom Come.
Well, I got an easier way than that. I wrote up a truce. You sign it, I'll get Sebastian to do the same.
Truce? I never kowtowed to any man.
Sebastian will kill your boys if you don't. You have it your own way.
Hold on now.
Well?
Man's children is his children. I'll sign it. There you are. My word of honor on it.
Can you control Brocious and Ringo?
Control Brocious and Ringo. Why, I took them on when they was busted saddle tramps. Now they both got their own spreads. They're beholden to me.
Well, lately they've been acting like they're the boss of your outfit.
Well, don't you fidget yourself about who's boss of this outfit. I am.
Just the same, you put out the word. You tell them to stop raiding across the border. I don't want any more trouble with Sebastian.
If and Sebastian keeps his part of the agreement, I'll keep mine.
You make sure you do.
Johnny Ringo leaves a high-stake poker game a big loser. It better be for something mighty important.
Anytime I send for you, it's important, and don't you forget it. You neither, Brocious.
Oh, yeah.
From now on, there'll be no more raiding Mexican silver trains and cattle, especially Don Sebastian's.
Something scare you off, boss?
Nothing scares me. Them fool kids of mine got themselves caught by Sebastian. He's holding them prisoner, like to kill them. I had to sign a truce with that hombre that I wouldn't do any more raiding. I gave him a word of honor. I mean to keep it, too. Now, I count you two as my top guns. And I expect you to hold the other boys in line. I want you to tell them about the truce and then start patrolling the border to see that it's kept.
Looks like a waste of time to me.
How's that, Curly?
He didn't say anything, did you, Curly?
I'm still alive, Curly. And I'm still boss of this outfit.
Well, that's the way you want it done, boss. It'll be done.
Come on, Curly.
Lemonade. Good and cold. Gracias, senor.
This paper reads very well, senor. Are you sure Senor Clanton means what he says?
Yes, sir.
I would like to believe it, but perhaps I should test his word, huh?
I would if I were you. You could send out a small train of silver wagons. Make sure the word of its departure reaches Clanton the other side of the border.
I will do that.
And just to be on the safe side, I'd have it guarded by a strong force. Make sure they keep out of sight.
You do not have a very good opinion of your countrymen, senor.
Not my countrymen. Clanton outlaws.
I will not argue with my guests. You will have supper and stay the night?
Well, thank you. My horse is tired, and so am I. If you could have the silver train ready by tomorrow morning, I'd ride with it.
And since you are as doubtful as I will accompany you. Por favor. Pablo!
Are the Clanton boys behaving themselves?
As animals. My vaqueros want to shoot them, and I say no, not yet. Wait and see what their father does. Oh, Pablo, show the senor to the guest room, por favor.
Thank you.
We'll be back on this side of the border before they know anything about it.
Sounds like it'll work.
It will. What's eating on you, Ringo?
We should keep our promise to the old man.
Then why did you come with us?
Because I don't like Clanton telling me what to do. Just the same, it's not right, Curly.
I figured it'll save us trouble later on.
How?
Ike and Billy and Finn was born buzzard meat. If Sebastian kills him, good riddance.
The old man never let that happen.
Maybe we can make sure.
I don't know. Old man Clanton has treated us pretty right.
Yeah, but ain't we done all his dirty work for him? We steal and rustle and fight all his fights. We don't owe the old man nothing. You'll feel better when you think about it, Ringo. I say it's time we got on our own.
Well, so far, so good. We're less than a mile from the border.
You spoke too soon, senor.
I can't believe Clanton would go back on his word.
You believe what your eyes see, senor?
Vaqueros, wait. Give them more time. Wait till they reach the clearing, make their charge. Try and cut between them and the wagons. Couldn't wait to make your play, could you, Ringo?
You see, senor, they are Clanton's men.
Did Clanton order this attack?
Yes.
No.
Who's lying?
You're wasting time, senor. My vaqueros will take care of them.
You're making a mistake, Don Sebastian. Give Clanton a chance to learn the truth. He'll take care of him.
Vaqueros, shoot them.
No. They're Americans, Don Sebastian, and my prisoners. I took them, and I'm taking them back alive.
Let me remind you, senor, you have no authority here in Mexico.
If you try shooting them, you'll have to take me first.
Do not force me, senor. These men must be punished.
I'm positive Clanton didn't order this raid. If I'm right, they'll be punished. I give you my word.
Senor Earp, it is against my judgment I yield to you. You better be right. Find their horses. Bandage his wound.
Get on in here.
Get these things off of me.
If you're lying to me about these boys, Earp, it'll be for the last time. Start talking.
It's a frame-up, boss. Johnny and I was riding along with some of the boys, minding our own business, when Earp and a gang of Mexicans jumped us.
You're a liar.
Ringo?
I was just talking to trying to cross you.
You! I'll kill them! I'll kill both of them!
Wait, you can deal with them later. Wait till your boys get back.
They won't be coming back unless it's in their coffins. Pete!
Yes, sir.
I want me 6 hands. I want them to dig 3 graves up on that knoll.
3 graves?
3 graves, and good and deep.
3 graves, yes, sir.
Get out of my sight before I kill you. reckon you could talk Sebastian into sending the bodies home?
I don't think Sebastian will kill him.
No use lying to me after what happened. You're all dead right now, and you know it. My boy's dead. All of them. I ought to kill Ringo and Brocious. Can't afford to. They're my top guns. My son's gone. I'm left with nobody to fight for what I spent my whole life building up.
Mr. Clanton, you didn't build up anything. You just let a pack of hoodlums grow around you like chokeweeds. I'll see what I can do with Sebastian.
I'd done the same thing myself if I'd been him. Ringo and Brocious crossing me. He couldn't know I'd kept my word.
I'll bring your boys back.
Why? My girl Emma's mighty fond of you. If you'll marry her, I'll deed you half of everything I own.
I wouldn't do that to Emma. How could I marry a girl whose father I'd eventually gunned down?
Mr. Clanton? Mr. Clanton,
I hear you.
how do you want your boys buried?
Ike, Finn, and Billy. Left or right, according to each.
Well, hadn't we ought to send for a parson?
No. I'll do my own burying. Well?
Don Sebastian sent your sons home.
Dead or alive? My boys.
I told you Sebastian would keep his word.
I never thought I'd live to see the day I'd say this to you, Earp. Thanks. When I get 'em inside, they'll wish they was dead.
Food is all they're after?
Well, we'll find out. Early West, men suffered from almost all the diseases that flesh is heir to, and there were few doctors to treat them. One of the worst afflictions and one of the most virulent was one no doctor could treat: gold fever. More often, the cure of that disease called for the services of Marshal Wyatt Earp.
Howdy, Doc, good fellow.
Oh, howdy. You're out late, Doctor.
Just made a sick call.
I haven't been feeling too good lately, Doctor. I'd like to get your professional advice.
I've told you before, Holiday. Get to bed early and quit drinking.
Fat chance.
Hey, what are you doing?
It's Odie Hewitt.
Hewitt? Just hold up there. good feller. No.
They stole enough guns and bullets to last them a month.
He's hit bad.
Give me a hand.
I don't know why he isn't dead, Wyatt. That bullet's mighty close to his heart. It's got to come out.
Can you do it?
Well, I'm a dentist. This is a job for a skilled surgeon. I can perform simple surgery, but not this. I'd kill him for sure.
But he's gonna die if you don't.
Maybe not, Wyatt, but it's far beyond me.
Mr. Gibbs, saddle my horse. I'll go to Tucson and bring another doctor back.
You won't have to go that far, Wyatt. Haven't got that much time. There's one much closer.
Where?
Up at Jake's cabin, south of the relay station. He's panning gold up in the hills.
That's right. He was through here a while back.
Get my horse, bring him over to the jail. What's his name?
Mason, Henry Mason. He's a former pupil of Dr. Goodfellas in that medical school back east. He showed great promise of becoming a great surgeon.
What's he doing panning for gold in Arizona?
Well, there's gold fever. Got a secret tip from one of his patients. Came out here to find it.
All right, I'll go get him. You keep him alive until I get back.
I'll try, Wyatt.
You want me to get up a posse and go after Hewitt?
Yeah. They'll head straight for Mexico. You try to get to the border first. Take a shortcut and cross at Agua Prieta. Remember Captain Diaz?
Yeah, Mexican rurales.
That's right. You tell him to expect it.
Right.
Mister. This is private property, and I don't want to have to hurt you.
No need to shoot at me, ma'am. I'm not going to harm you.
Stay back. Don't come any nearer or I'll fire. Strangers aren't welcome here.
Ma'am, I'm a United States Marshal. You needn't have any fear of me.
Well, if that's true, you'll go away and leave us alone.
I rode an awful long way to see somebody.
Who?
Dr. Henry Mason. Is he here?
No. Now turn around and go.
Where is the doctor?
What do you want with him?
I have to talk to him.
Why? He's done nothing wrong.
I know that. But I have to talk to him. A man's life depends on it.
Stay back.
I don't think you'll shoot, ma'am. You don't want to kill anybody, and you know I'm not going to hurt you. I'm sorry I frightened you, ma'am. But I am a United States Marshal, and I can't go back without the doctor.
You said a man's life depends on my husband?
Yes. Our doctor in Tombstone was shot, and he's going to die unless your husband operates on him, and quickly.
He won't do it.
But he's got to. He's our only hope. There's no other doctor in these parts. Look, your husband studied under him in medical school.
That still won't matter to him. He doesn't care.
Doesn't care. But he's a doctor.
He's not a doctor anymore. He's changed. He's different. Oh, you shouldn't have come. He won't listen to you. He won't even listen to me. Sometimes I don't know what I'll do.
Mrs. Mason.
Don't touch her.
Stand still. I heard a shot. Are you all right, Cora?
Yes.
Who are you?
My name's Wyatt Earp. I'm a United States Marshal.
The Hewitt gang tried to hold up the relay station this morning. How do I know you weren't one of them? Anyone could get hold of a badge like that.
I told you I was a United States Marshal.
How do you know my wife?
Well, Henry, he doesn't. He was just trying to comfort me. My being upset, shooting at him and all.
No need to be upset. Anybody comes around here deserves to be shot. We've had claim jumpers here before, remember?
But he's not a claim jumper. He needs your help.
Dr. Goodfellow is dying with a bullet next to his heart. You've got to come back to Tombstone with me now.
I've given up medicine.
We'll have to find another doctor. No other doctor can do it. You're our only hope.
Do you think I'm going to leave now and let some outlaw come in here and just take over? How do I know this isn't a trick? A scheme to swindle me.
Henry, it's Dr. George Goodfellow. He's dying.
I don't care who it is.
You're a doctor. A man with a God-given talent to cure people and save lives. And you're going to stay here and grub in the dirt for gold?
Yes. I spent endless years grubbing for an existence as a doctor. I know only too well what reward that God-given talent has brought me. Now I've got a chance to get rich. Do you understand me? Rich. I'm not going to leave a claim I haven't even filed on yet.
I'm only asking you to come to Tombstone for one day. To save the life of an old friend.
I won't go.
Well, if you think I'm going to let Dr. Goodfellow die, you're mistaken.
You're going to try to use the authority that badge gives you? Arrest me?
Forget the badge. I'm appealing to you as a man. A man with a conscience.
You get out of here. Might as well go back to Tombstone. Just grazed me. Clean it with this carbolic. Wind it tight.
You handle a gun, they may try to rush us.
I'll be all right. Food is all they're after?
Well, we'll find out.
Maybe they've heard rumors of my gold.
Yeah, maybe. There's been plenty of talk about it around Tombstone.
Give them what they want. Food, supplies, anything. Even the gold if they want it. It's hidden under...
Cora, hold your tongue!
I don't want your gold, Mason. You don't have to worry about me.
I don't trust anybody. I've worked that mine long enough to know what it's worth. Till I file on it, anybody could come in here and take it away from me.
Henry, what does it matter? You've taken enough gold out of it already.
That's for me to decide, Cora.
Tell me something, Mason. Just how much gold would you have to take out of there before you worried about something as unimportant as a man's life?
He's right, Henry. This gold is a poison. It changes people, warps them. Can't you see what it's doing to you?
Cora. Cora, you think it was for me I've done all this? It was for you.
When did I ever complain?
Never. That made it all the worse. Don't you think I know what you went through when that blue-blooded family of yours tried to prevent our marriage?
But I married you. I didn't care.
Well, I did. I swore I'd show them. I swore I'd never take you back to Boston till I'd given you everything you'd had before.
I didn't want what I had before. I didn't want to go back. Oh, Henry, money never meant anything to me.
Even when you had to sell your wedding dress to a dance hall girl for us to get by on. You didn't think I knew that, did you? That was the end for me. I got out the map that old prospector had given me. Now I can give you everything you ever wanted.
I don't want anything except to be happy. I never have.
Hey, Mason! You better come on out or we're gonna blast you out!
He knows who I am.
And they're after your gold, not just food.
Henry, give it to them. What good is the gold to us dead?
No, Cora!
You're gonna lose more in gold if we don't get help. Gotta find a way out of here. That relay station can't be more than 5 miles away.
Less. And there is a way out. A trapdoor.
Cora!
Trapdoor where?
Well, it's right under the bed here. And it goes 20 feet beyond the back door.
No!
It's our only chance, Mason.
No!
Why not?
I said no.
Your gold down there? You better start worrying about your life.
You're trying to trick me. You want the gold. You're not going down there. I won't let you. Stop it. It's a trick to get my gold. Stop it, Mason. Stop it.
Well, go ahead and fight. Makes it easy, old man. How about you fixing us some food, little lady? Not just for now. We need some for the saddlebags, too. We're going to Mexico. You were just saying something about gold. We could use it where we're going. Where is it?
I won't tell you.
You can make a deal, Mason.
No.
Sort of hard to give it up, ain't it? All right. We'll find it ourselves. Didn't I see your face before somewhere?
I don't know. Did you?
Don't get smart, mister. I don't have to keep you alive. Because you don't know what the gold is, do you?
No, I don't.
Hey, boss. Look at this.
Marshall's badge. Yours, maybe? U.S. Marshal. Probably from Tombstone. And that'd make you... Wyatt Earp.
That's my name.
Well, what do you know? We're gonna take Wyatt Earp, boys. Hey, well, well, well.
You want to die without on, Burp?
You wouldn't dare kill him.
Wouldn't I?
Oh, he'd dare, all right. Yeah, he's a very brave man. He's already wanted for 3 killings.
Well, it ain't necessary for me to kill all of you. That is, if you tell me what the gold is. All right. You gonna tell me? Or are you gonna watch your wife die and then tell me?
He means it, Mason.
What kind of a man are you?
No. I'll show you where the gold is. It's down there.
Mr. Earp, what would have happened if you had shamed him?
Look at that. Thanks for the gold. You just ain't the type for it anyway.
Let's get moving, boss.
Sure. Get over there. All right, boys, don't waste any bullets. 1 for each.
You're not going to kill us. I gave you the gold.
And I thanked you.
You're still 7 or 8 miles from the border. The posses are looking for you, I know, because I sent them.
Trying to beg for your life, low man?
Not beg. Make a bargain.
What kind of bargain?
I know a shortcut to the border where there'll be no posse. I'll take you there safely. A fair trade. Your freedom for our lives.
Hey, I don't trust you, Earp.
I do. I don't want to run into any posse.
All right. Just to make sure you don't pull any tricks, you'll ride in front of me.
Only if we even that up. Make sure that you keep your part of the bargain. The woman rides in back of you with my gun.
Don't you take my word?
No, I don't. Not any more than you take mine. No further than a trigger's breadth.
We better get started.
Take care of that.
All right. Lead the way.
You stay right behind him, Mrs. Mason. That draw runs right into the border. Nobody around for miles. Those are the Agua Prieta Hills. Take that trail through the notch over there. It runs right into the town of Fronteras.
Well, looks like you kept your bargain, Earp.
Now you keep yours. Mrs. Mason, you keep that gun pointed right at his head until they get down that hill.
Don't worry, Earp.
There goes my gold.
Well, you're still alive. And your mine is still there, if that's what you want. I think you owe me something for saving your lives, Dr. Mason.
What?
Dr. Goodfellow's life.
still don't know why I can't sit up.
Because Dr. Mason says you can't, that's why.
You know what? He's a wonderful doctor. A good friend coming here to save me.
Yes, he is. You just relax and take it easy, huh? You don't want to bust those stitches open. I'll see you later.
Mr. Earp, I just wanted to say goodbye.
You going back to Boston?
Yes.
Alone? I'm sorry.
Cora, wait. Marshal, I want you to see this, too. It's a check from a mining company. I've sold the claim, Cora. There's more than enough there to start me in practice again.
In practice?
When I saw you about to be killed, I realized how wrong I'd been. You're the only thing that ever mattered to me. Cora, please don't go back to Boston.
Holiday!
You got Johnny in there?
The answer's no, Ringo.
Just for the record, Marshal, when I find Holiday's bird dog, I'm gonna gun him down. And the same goes for anyone who tries to stop me.
Johnny behind the deuce had fallen under the spell of Doc Holliday, one of the most controversial figures in Tombstone. Men feared Doc, respected him for his skill as a gambler, his speed with the .45. But a hero-worshipping kid trying to imitate these qualities spelled trouble for all concerned, and especially for Doc's best friend, Wyatt Earp.
Three Kings, gentlemen. Everybody busted? Oh, you should have saved more money. Johnny?
Right here, sir.
Gentlemen, your reckless spending on food and lodging has inconvenienced me. The next time, I'll expect you to start the game with at least $100 apiece.
That's good, Doc. Real good.
Good night, gentlemen.
Good night.
Thanks, Doc.
What are you doing here at this hour? Is something wrong?
Seems like everything's wrong, Johnny.
What are you talking about?
Mr. Ferguson waited all morning for you to show up. He left this afternoon on the stage for Tucson.
Oh, yeah. Well, I forgot.
Forgot? That job he was ready to offer you was everything we've talked about for months. How could you forget?
Well, maybe I didn't forget. Maybe I changed my mind about slaving over a desk job to earn in 1 year what Dr. Holliday can earn in 1 night playing poker.
I see.
Oh, honey, don't worry about Mr. Ferguson. Anytime I want that job, he'll be waiting for me.
Just like me, huh, Johnny?
You? Oh, now, come on. What's eating you?
Mr. Ferguson wasn't the only one you forgot. You were going to meet me at the minister's house this afternoon. Or have you changed your mind about our wedding Sunday, too?
Hey, now, come on. You know better than that. I've been busy, honey, honest.
Raking in all that money for Doc Holliday?
Leave him out of this.
I wish I could. Johnny, you don't realize what he's doing to you. You used to have a mind and a will of your own. But you've become a slave to him. You jump every time he snaps his
That's
finger.
enough. Honey, I know I've been neglecting you. But one thing for sure, nothing's changed.
You have, Johnny. You're not the boy I fell in love with.
No, I'm not. Maybe I've grown up. Doc's opened my eyes to plenty. The more I'm with him, the more I learn.
Learn what? How to drink and gamble and kill if you have to? Johnny, stay away from him. Promise me.
No, and stop running him into the ground. Doc Holliday's taught me plenty.
Yes, he has. May the Lord forgive him.
Marcia, wait a minute. I'll walk you home. We've got a lot of things to talk about.
No, Johnny. We've nothing to talk about. Nothing at all.
Morning, Miss Marcia. Here, let me give you a hand with that. You off to Tucson to do a little wedding shopping?
There isn't going to be any wedding, Mr. Earp. I'm leaving town for good.
Oh? Does Johnny know about that? Well, maybe you ought to wait and talk it over with him.
We did enough talking last night. Besides, Johnny will be too busy following Doc Holliday around to even know I'm gone. It isn't funny. Johnny spends every waking minute following Doc around, trying to talk like him, act like him. Before long, he'll even think he is Doc Holliday.
I know, but living in Doc's shadow is one thing. Now, stepping into his shoes now, that's something else again.
I tried to tell him that, but he won't listen to me. He wants to be a big-time gambler like Doc Holliday. He even bought himself a nickel-plated gun like Doc. And you know where he'll end up. On Boot Hill.
Yeah, chances are mighty good that he will. But that shouldn't bother you none.
What are you talking about? I love Johnny.
You got a mighty strange way of proving it. Now, look, deep in your heart, you know that Johnny loves you. Chances are, if you marry, he'll settle down. But you walk out and leave him like this, well, you give him nothing else to turn to but Doc Holliday and his way of living.
What can I do?
You can go back to the hotel and you can unpack that bag. And I'll have a little talk with Doc about Johnny.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Earp. I know you're the only one Doc will listen to. Maybe you can make him understand what's happening to Johnny before Johnny does something foolish.
Well, I'll sure give it a try.
I'll never be able to repay you.
I'll settle for an invitation to the wedding, huh?
You should have let her go, Wyatt. There'll be a dozen more like her before he's ready to get trapped, if ever. A wife is like a cannibal, picking away at a man's freedom till there's nothing left but bones.
Well, save me the philosophy, will you? Look, I know your ideas. Have you sold them to Johnny?
Well, I must admit that I've given the boy the benefit of my vast experience with the opposite sex.
Yeah. Not to mention the use of nickel-plated revolvers. And gambling around the clock.
Ah, yes. A rich, full life.
Yeah, maybe for you, Doc. But all it can mean to Johnny is trouble.
Stop riling yourself, Deacon. All I'm using Johnny for is to bird dog the gaming table and set up the pigeons for me. He's got a great flair.
Yeah, especially for making you feel important.
Well, it's not outside of the realm of possibility for anyone to admire me. Dr. John H. Holliday, guide, philosopher, and friend.
Well, prove it. Stop using the boy, Doc. Get rid of him. Send him back to his girl with your blessing.
Come in.
Oh, good morning, Marshal.
Morning.
Sit down, son. Have some breakfast.
No, thanks, Doc. I'm not hungry. I just came up to tell you some miners are staying at the Charleston Inn. They've set up a game for late this afternoon with Johnny Ringo. Should be worth thousands.
See what I mean about bird dogging?
I convinced them that they'd do better with us. I said that you'd be there by noon.
Ringo isn't going to appreciate your taking over his game for him. You're really begging for trouble, aren't you, Johnny?
Mr. Earp and your lady friend seem to think that I'm a bad influence on you.
Marcia's been talking about me to you, Mr. Earp.
Marcia happens to be in love with you. Anything she'd say would be in your favor.
Well, I don't like her meddling in my affairs.
Meddling? Well, meddling is a very strange word. The two of you supposed to get married.
Well, maybe I've changed my mind about marrying anyone. A wife's like a cannibal, keeps eating away at a man's freedom till there isn't anything left but bones.
Wyatt knows my opinion about marriage. You go saddle up our horses.
They're waiting when you're ready, Doc. Oh, Mr. Earp, I'm sorry about Marcia taking up your time. I'll see that it doesn't happen again.
I feel a wave of disapproval enveloping me.
Oh, on the contrary, Doc. I'm just re-evaluating your many virtues. A genius with cards, faster than lightning with a gun, brains, courage, dedicated to the rich, full life. Why, you know, there's not another man in the whole territory quite like you.
I'll drink to that, Wyatt.
Well, I think you better drink to Johnny O'Rourke. He's the one that will probably get himself killed trying to follow in your footsteps.
I thought the compliments were flowing much too freely.
Get rid of them, Doc.
What for? So he can get himself hog-tied with a wedding ring?
As a favor to me.
I'll think about it. Johnny, cash in these chips. Too many of them are ostentatious.
Yes, sir.
Gil.
It's just as well Ringo didn't show up. Doc would have cleaned him, too.
Listen, you cheap tin horn. When Ringo finds out you've set up this game 3 hours early for Doc, he's going to skin you alive.
You talking for Ringo these days, Schneider?
No, I guess not.
And shut up. You're disturbing the game. Are you calling me, gentlemen?
Johnny Ringo's coming in.
Straight flush. Play my hand, Johnny. I need some fresh air.
You mean I can play for you?
I can't think of a better man.
You sitting in for Doc Holliday. And how do you figure your chances are in a big game?
Well, anytime you'd like to take a hand, Schneider, sit in.
No need to rush, Ringo. Those mine owners have had just about enough for one day.
Schneider told me the game wasn't supposed to start until I got here.
You know how rich men are. Impatient, demanding. They just couldn't wait to lose their money.
And I suppose you and Johnny didn't have a thing to do with their anxiety.
Now, Ringo, you know I wouldn't stand for anything like that. Come on, I'll buy you a drink.
Oh, bother. Take care of my horse. When he cools off, give him some water.
What do you got?
Full house?
4 aces.
I'll just hold it. I want to take a look at that deck.
What are you talking about?
I thought so. Another ace of diamonds. I'm going to carve a crooked smile on you. On your feet, bird dog. I said on your feet.
We'll try it, Ringo.
I got plenty of time, Doc. When you get back to town, feed him well. It'll be his last meal.
Well, I hope you're satisfied, Doc.
This is hardly the time for remorse and recrimination, Deacon.
Where's Johnny now?
I told him to hide out in Marsh's place.
You go on over there, Mr. Gibbs. Keep an eye on him until I can get Ringo and his friends on their way.
You all right, sir?
Holiday! Herb! You got Johnny in there?
The answer's no, Ringo.
Just for the record, Marshal, when I find Holiday's bird dog, I'm gonna gun him down. And the same goes for anyone who tries to stop me.
Mr. Gibbs, you keep Johnny in that hotel room. Make sure you're not followed. Wait a minute, Doc. I want to talk to you. This time you're going to do what I tell you.
What do you mean?
I mean that boy has got you on a pedestal and you're going to have to fall off.
Mr. Earp, is it true? Is it true that Johnny shot a man? You promised me, Mr. Earp. You promised me you'd take care of him.
He shot him in self-defense.
I don't care what it was. This is your fault. Letting him follow you around like a puppy dog, imitating you. What am I going to do? I've got to find him before Ringo does.
Johnny's in your room. You make sure he stays there until you hear from me. Inside, I haven't finished with you.
Johnny, you can't stay here in Tombstone. You haven't a chance against Ringo. He'll kill you. Let Doc fight it out with him. Everybody knows they hate each other. That Ringo's only using you to get at Doc.
This is my fight. I'm staying in Tombstone to see it through.
Put that away.
You know something, Marcia? Until I fired that bullet, I didn't think I could even point a gun at a man. But I'm not afraid of Johnny Ringo. What do you know about that?
Johnny, what's happened to you? You act like you enjoy killing a man.
I'm calling Ringo out.
No, wait. Johnny!
What are you doing here?
Marshal Earp's orders.
You mean I'm under arrest?
Well, not exactly, but it's for your own protection, young feller.
I don't need any protection. I can take care of myself.
Easy, Johnny, easy. I don't want you to get arrested for antagonizing the law. Besides, you and I got things to talk over. That is, if Mr. Shotgun Gibbs and Miss Marcia would leave us alone for a while.
My orders is to stay right here.
Why change your orders? I'll be responsible.
Well, all right, Doc. You better be telling the truth.
You go with him, Marcia.
That what you want, Johnny?
That's what I want.
Would you like a drink?
I never use the stuff, sir.
Considering the fact you're trying to emulate me, surprising you don't indulge.
It burns my throat.
Pure ambrosia. Warms the innards, quickens the pulse, and it raises the spirits to new heights of courage.
You don't need that stuff for courage, Doc.
You sure of that?
Well, sure, I'm sure.
Youth.
Well, let's go.
What's your hurry?
Well, I've made up my mind.
About what?
Ringo.
Oh, yes. Johnny Ringo. You figure to shoot it out with him, huh?
That's right.
Have you ever seen Ringo in action?
No?
He's sheer poetry in motion. I never saw any man that could equal him. You know what I'd do if I was in your shoes? That is, if you don't mind my giving you a little advice.
No, sir. I'd appreciate anything you could tell me.
I'd shoot him in the back.
The back?
Why quibble? Back, front, side. He's going to get it eventually.
That's not the way you'd do it, Doc. One thing I'm sure of, you're no coward.
I'd kill Ringo any way that seemed feasible.
You're not going to like this, Doc. But you're wrong. I'll meet Ringo head on and may the best man win.
Now, you listen to me. I'm through wasting time, trying to give you a way out. But you're too stupid to see it. The plain truth is you haven't got one chance in a million of taking Ringo.
Stop it, Doc.
You'll be dead with a bullet between your eyes before you ever reach for your gun. Providing you don't faint first from sheer fright.
I'm sorry, Doc. I didn't mean that. I said I was sorry.
Where you going?
To find Ringo.
Wait for me.
Yeah, if it hadn't been for Johnny, I'd have been the one to clean out those mine owners.
That's what Holliday's bird dog handed over to him on a silver platter.
Stand back, Doc. Doc, get out of the way.
What's the matter, Doc? Your bird dog loses nerve?
I wouldn't say that.
Or maybe you're figuring on taking me on first.
You know Earp's orders about carrying guns in Tombstone. I'm unarmed.
Take your choice. What's the matter, Doc? Your nerve shot? But you needs a drink. Don't tell me Doc Holliday's at a loss for words.
I apologize for taking the play away from you in Charleston. I won a lot of money from those mine owners today. I'd like to share it with you.
No, Doc.
That's right, bird dog. I'm gonna keep it all. Or maybe you figure you can stop me.
All right, that's it, gentlemen. You know the laws in Tombstone. You check your guns when you come into town, pick them up on the way out, and I'll take those, Doc.
I won't forget this, Earp.
That makes two of us. Marcia's waiting for you outside.
I would have given him the money. There was no need for you to mix in.
No. No, there wasn't, Doc. I never will again. Goodbye.
Thank you. Thank you again.
Be good to each other.
Watch your step now.
All right, Jack.
Love conquers all. I guess I fell off that pedestal pretty good, huh?
Yeah, you sure did, Doc. Say, I want to compliment you on that performance with Ringo. I never knew you were such a fine actor.
Oh, it's just one of my many talents. The next time I meet Ringo, I'll give a more realistic performance.
Yeah, I reckon you will.
Bushwhackers. Keep down. Where do you get something to shoot at?
They dropped real good.
Come on.
What Marshal Earp and his deputies could do, the lawless element continued to terrorize Arizona until finally the scandalous conditions were reported to Washington. President Chester Arthur forced the resignation of Governor Fremont and issued stern orders to acting Governor Gosper. He and Chief U.S. Marshal Crawley Dake asked Wyatt Earp to come to Tucson for what amounted to a conference of war.
And outlaws have squatted on every waterhole from Old Mexico to the Magallans, from the Huachucas to Los Animas. They own sheriffs and most of the judges. It's disgraceful.
I agree, Governor.
Charleston, Bisbee, Lewis Springs, Prescott, even Tucson, all outlaw boss towns, every one of them.
Governor Gosper is United States Marshals. Mr. Earp and I have no jurisdiction, unless federal crimes are committed.
Don't tell me what you can't do. Here, sit down, both of you. Here are my orders from Washington, instructing me to break up these outlaw gangs. And I'm going to do it by issuing shoot-to-kill warrants.
Well, I'm against that, sir. In my opinion, it's not legal.
Civilized communities cannot exist without law, and I mean enforced law. Although you've done good work in Tombstone, Mr. Earp, no man's life or property is free from attack under our present conditions. I intend to make them safe.
Well, I hope you succeed, sir.
With your cooperation, I will. You know Dick Gerd, owner of the Lucky Cuss mine in Tombstone?
A friend of mine.
He's a hard fighter. I've asked him to organize a vigilante group. I'm doing the same thing in other towns. These will be posses comitatus with the authority of federal law. All they require is experienced officers to lead them.
Well, they'll need more than that, sir. You give vigilantes their head and they don't know when to stop.
It's up to you to control them. Now, I figured you'd need help in this emergency. Have Mr. Earp's new deputy step in.
Howdy, big brother.
Morgan. Hey, how come I didn't know that you'd sign on as my deputy, huh?
Figuring you'd say no, I didn't give him a chance to tell you.
When Mr. Dake explained the situation to them, your brothers agreed you needed help.
Virgil's ready to sign on, too, if you say so.
Well, now, it isn't quite as bad as all that. But if the governor does insist on this vigilante order, we're going to have a small war on our hands.
War's already been declared, Wyatt. Why not give the governor's plan a chance to work?
I haven't much choice.
I told you to come around.
You're wrong, Mr. Dake. I still say that vigilantes with shoot-to-kill orders aren't the answer to outlaws in Arizona territory.
Well, your way isn't the answer. We must use vigilantes. I see no reason for further discussion, Marshal.
Well, sir, someday you might.
Good day, gentlemen.
Talk to the governor, wasn't it?
When a man's wrong, I tell him.
Shame to obey orders.
Mount up. It's a long ride to Tombstone.
Anything wrong with your drink, Doc?
Well, it's not enough to kill you for. I've been watching those Clanton hands. They look like a walking arsenal.
They've been drifting in here since noon.
Mm-hmm. You still a friend of Wyatt's?
Well, I sure am.
Good. Now, they won't talk while I'm around here. But I'd like you to find out why Clanton Cowboys are liquoring up on a Wednesday afternoon during roundup time.
What's on your mind?
Wyatt's riding in from Tucson today.
Oh, I don't think they...
You don't think. Just start listening. I'll be over in Dick Gird's office.
Come on in. Oh, hello, Shotgun.
Howdy, Mr. Gordon. Just now I got your message.
Well, since you're the law with Wyatt out of town, I figured you better read this letter. The acting governor wants me to organize a vigilante group. He says he's going to order Wyatt to cooperate.
He ain't gonna order Wyatt to do nothing. But you know, this here makes sense. Call them outlaws. Shoot to kill. Ain't a bad idea.
He should have done it a long time ago.
Why, it's the only way to do it. Wyatt throws them in jail and Sheriff Bean lets them escape. We do make the case with the jury's packed with hoodlums.
Hi, Doc.
Hey, Doc, read this here letter. This new governor says we ought to start shooting to kill.
I was with Mr. Gird when he opened that letter. Probably the most intelligent verbiage ever written by a politician in our time. Gosper gets my vote.
Mine, too. And when I'm through passing the word, we'll have the fightingest vigilante posse in the territory.
Doc, you guessed right. As soon as you left, those fellas hightailed it out of town. Clanton issued orders to ambush Wyatt on the trail.
Bushwhackers? How many?
It's hard to tell. There must have been a half a dozen at the saloon. They'll most likely join up with the Clantons outside of town.
If old man Clanton's given the orders, you can be sure of it.
Well, let's get started.
Give me 10 minutes to round up a posse. They'll be our first vigilantes.
This way, Morgan. We taking a shortcut?
I don't ride open trail in Clanton country.
With enough vigilantes, we could kill all the Clantons. Make every trail in the territory safe.
I never have approved of vigilantes.
The governor does.
Well, I think he's wrong.
This is war, Wyatt. You've got Tombstone pretty well in hand. But the Clantons and the 10% ring still run the rest of Arizona. I say shoot them out of the saddles.
You won't shoot to kill anybody as long as you're my deputy. And you remember that.
You know him, Wyatt? Vic Stiles, he's just a kid.
Not anymore, Wyatt. And he had it coming.
The same goes for the rest of Clanton's outlaws.
You didn't have to kill him.
They were trying to kill us, Wyatt.
It still doesn't make it right.
The governor thinks different.
Well, I don't care what the governor thinks. You shot to kill, what did it get us? Clanton, McLaury, Brocious, Ringo? No. No, they're too smart for us. All we get is a bunch of small fry. All right. You had your way. Now you can have the honor of bringing the bodies back to town.
Wyatt, nobody agrees with you.
Isn't the first time.
You want to add the vigilantes to your list of enemies? They all took a chance of getting themselves killed out there this afternoon. Don't you think you at least owe them a word of thanks?
I'll thank them. But not for taking the law into their own hands and killing every man out there.
The governor asked Dick Gerd to organize the vigilantes. He was right.
Look, if Gosper wants to stop outlaws, let him issue legal warrants against Brocious, Ringo, Old Man Clanton, and the rest of his hired guns. I'll bring them in, dead or alive, instead of this wholesale killing.
I want to talk to Mr. Earp. Alone.
Won't you sit down, Miss Craddock? What can I do for you?
Can you bring Vic Stiles back to life?
Vic Stiles?
What kind of a marshal are you? What side of the law are you on?
I'd like to talk to you about Vic Stiles.
What's there to talk about? He's dead. You're the law. You killed him. You shot down an innocent boy.
What's an innocent boy doing working for Mr. Clanton?
He never worked for Clanton. He thought he was going out after wrestlers this afternoon. They promised him part of the reward. He wanted that money for us. We were going to use it to get married. Go to California. But you and the vigilantes, you changed all that.
I didn't know about you and Vic. I'm sorry.
Sorry? He's sorry, Vic. He's sorry he killed you. Oh, Vic! Vic!
Miss Helen.
I hate you. I hate all of you. You're murderers.
Miss Helen.
Murderers! Murderers!
Miss Helen! Miss Helen!
Hey, Marshal, what's a big hurry?
I'm sorry. Just sit down and let me take a look at it. Boy, you're lucky. Just grazed you.
I'm all right. Who was it? Some gal took a shot at me.
What happened, White? Close that door. Some girl took a shot at him.
Girl? Could have been the same one.
What are you talking about?
Some girl just took a shot at Doc Holliday. I was in my room when it happened. By the time I had enough clothes on, she was gone.
Doc all right?
Yeah, she missed him. Doc said she didn't say a word. Just stared at him and fired.
Stay here, both of you. Patch him up.
Oh, Miss
What?
Helen,
The
what?
vigilantes. Shot and killed Vic. Just the way I killed Doc Holliday and Mr. Gibbs. Just the way I'm going to kill you.
She says she shot Holliday and Gibbs.
She shot at them.
Oh, Vic.
Vic who? Vic Stiles. The vigilantes didn't know him either, remember?
Oh, yes. That young outlaw.
Well, according to her, he wasn't an outlaw.
We couldn't have known about that. What was he doing with those bushwhackers?
It's a little late to ask that now. He's dead. Come on, give me a hand. We'll take her over to Dr. Goodfellows. Well?
She's almost asleep. We gave her laudanum.
She could stay over at the hotel.
No, she may still be in shock in the morning. She's better off here.
I would sure like to be facing Gusper when he hears what happened. Shoot to kill.
It's an awful thing.
Yeah, it sure is.
I don't like posses any more than you do, but you wouldn't be alive if one hadn't gone out this afternoon.
I know that. Good night, Doc.
Quiet. She is guilty of assault with a deadly weapon. What'll happen to her?
That'll be up to Judge Spicer.
He'll be rough with her, I suppose. Shooting at police officers and all that.
Ordinarily. But maybe if you testify as to her state of mind. You said yourself when I brought her in here she was unbalanced.
In my opinion, she was. But that won't be enough. She'll get 10 years in prison, at least.
My bet is 10 years and no parole.
Well, maybe you're right. We can't deny she did it any more than we can deny the vigilantes killed young Stiles.
It's not fair, Wyatt. The vigilantes didn't realize.
Well, that's just what he's getting at. We shouldn't shoot to kill unless we got proof.
Bushwhacking the United States Marshal is against the law. That was proof enough.
Was it, Doc? Was it? Well, maybe if your vigilantes hadn't been so eager, that boy could have explained why and how he just happened to be there. Then a court of law could decide whether or not he should die for his mistake.
Let up, Wyatt. Everybody feels bad enough without you harping on it.
Oh, I want him to feel bad. I want him to feel real bad. I want him to feel so bad that the next time there's any shooting done by vigilantes, they'll do it my way. Because if they don't do it exactly my way, the vigilantes are going to wind up in court charged with murder. It's time to go. Let's get out.
In my opinion, Your Honor, the young lady was hysterical with grief. I don't think she could distinguish right from wrong. And therefore, she was unaccountable for her actions.
Are you suggesting temporary derangement, Doctor?
I would call it that, yes.
It seems to the court that Miss Craddock wanted vengeance and behaved with logical and deliberate malice. She tried to kill Dr. Holliday and Chief Deputy Gibbs before she threatened Mr. Gurdon. And the court might accept one outburst of hysterical desperation, but three? Anything else, Doctor?
No, sir. I've given you my professional opinion. Temporary insanity. That girl was in shock.
Very well. Thank you. Step down. Marshal Earp, Do you have any further evidence to present?
If the court please. I have here Governor Gosper's official order to Mr. Gerd. I think the court should read it.
Very well.
I call Your Honor's attention specifically to the shoot-to-kill order.
Illegal.
I agree with the court. But the posse who rode out to help my brother and me were acting on that order. In my opinion, a great deal of unnecessary killing was done because of it.
The slain hoodlums were bushwhackers, Marshal.
Vic Stiles was not a bushwhacker.
How's that?
Mr. Stiles worked for the Craddock family as a cowhand. He was discharged because of his attentions to Miss Craddock. Being a newcomer from Texas, he hired on with some of the Clanton's Cowboys, unaware of the fact that they were outlaws and meant to kill my brother and me.
Can you prove that?
I saw Mr. Stiles in the fight yesterday afternoon, but he did not shoot at us. As a matter of fact, he tried to stop the shooting, and he was wounded by the outlaws for his efforts on our behalf. When he tried to run away, he was shot down by the vigilantes who were following Gosper's orders to shoot to kill.
I see.
I asked the court to weigh very carefully what Dr. Goodfellow said about Miss Craddock's state of mind. The man she loved, expected to marry, was killed ruthlessly and without justification.
How Vic Stiles was killed is not an issue in this trial, Marshal.
I beg your pardon, sir. I believe it is. Because of the governor's order, the vigilantes took law into their own hands. And the respect for the law is the bigger issue here. Therefore, this court should disavow the order to shoot to kill and should rebuke Governor Gosper for it.
That is a matter for the federal courts to decide, not this one.
Then at least this court can show leniency for Miss Craddock.
Marshal Earp, I do not need your instructions on my decision.
Yes, sir.
This court is recessed for 10 minutes.
Court will now come to order.
Miss Craddock, you will please rise and come to the bench. Taking the law into your own hands, seeking the death of another person, even to avenge what you felt to be a murder, is a very grave offense. And not excusable because you're a woman. If you had succeeded, 3 men would be dead. And your tears could not change it. The court has taken into consideration Marshal Earp's testimony relative to your youth and the extreme provocation. Also, Dr. Goodfellow's as to your state of mind. It is a finding in this court that you are guilty of assault with the intent to kill. You are sentenced to 6 months in prison. But in view of the testimony offered in your behalf, I will suspend the sentence. Court is adjourned.
Mr. Earp, I don't know what to say, how to thank you.
All of us.
Well, we can hope that because of you and Vic, the lives of other innocent men will be saved. And, well, that's thanks enough.
Well, he cleaned up the country, the old Wild West country. He made law and order prevail. And none can deny it, the legend of Wyatt forever will live on the trail. Oh, Wyatt Earp, brave, courageous, and bold. Long live his fame, and long live his glory, and long may his story be told.